Welcome, 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 my lovelies. Welcome back. Let me get comfortable. Are you sitting comfortable? This is all important. Hello everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in again. I hope you're well at the moment, and I hope your weather's okay. I know with some of you it's probably not. It's a little bit warm for us today, but with English, we're wimps. What can I say? Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. So today's video is going to be the next part of the Art Deco build. Yay! That I'm working on. I'm looking at it as we speak. It's very tall. So today, I will, off camera, I'm going to put a lot of the windows in, just the perspex windows, just to get the house more sealed looking. But I'm going to work on the roof, put some stuff on the roof garden, and maybe we can lay the front door on, that sort of thing, just so you can see it more, not finished completely, obviously. No house is ever finished, but so you can see it, so it's sort of more or less ready to start dressing. I'm not sure yet. It depends how much I do on this video. So I may start putting furniture into the house, or I may find other things to do on this video, and then I can do a separate video for when I start dressing it. Oh, cheers everybody. Oh, John Boy is out today. Yes, I've had to make my own tea again. Actually, it doesn't taste as good as when he makes it normally. But there you go. Yes, so John Boy's out today visiting family, and he'll be home shortly. And both boys, Georgie and Nigel, I think they're in the shaded areas in the garden. In fact, Nigel is in a shaded area in the garden, and the last time I looked, when I went in to make my drink, Georgie was curled up in in Georgie's palace, the big house, the big palace that I'm going to be starting at some point soon. In fact, we'll see if he's up there, shall we? I'll just take you guys up there to the house and just just see if he's still there. He's probably going to call me a liar now, and he won't be there, but he was there a minute ago. Let's go and have a look. Now, I'm not. Oh. I can see him. Georgie, I can see you. Oh, that makes me laugh. Oh, Georgie, I bet you're wondering, how does he do that? and be comfortable as well. Hey boy, hello, hello. Oh, yes. Oh, there. Hey. Oh, little baby. He's in the cool there. Well, he's actually in what's going to be the museum, the Egyptian museum, which I shall be starting soon. Okay, hello. I'm just sitting quietly painting, lots and lots of painting, white wood, or painting the wood white, but I'm just sitting here. It's very quiet, very peaceful. I've got, in case you can see smoke rising there at all, I've got my incense burner burning, so it's just a lovely perfume in the air. And I thought you might want to join me just for a minute while you drink your drinks, or eat your lunch or whatever. But I thought, I was trying to think, if I put the video back on, what can I talk about? And for some absolute weird, odd reason, I thought about something that happened in my hairdressing days that I thought I would tell you. I think some of you would be would really quite enjoy the little story. By the way, some of you might be saying, well, I know one person in particular would probably be saying, I just spray everything, just spray it all white and what have you. It's not as easy as that, I don't think, because using the white sprays, A, they're never a proper white, the same as proper wood paint, white wood paint, and B, they still do, when you spray them, they run and they cause little puddles in the corners, and it's very sticky paint as well, so it's hard to get rid of and smooth. But anyway, so this is why I'm sitting patiently painting everything by hand, and it's a much more personal way of decorating your house. But anyway, oh, and also all these pieces, that's dry now, but all these pieces and these are dry. It's a very warm day today, so everything's dry and nice and quick, which is good. But all these pieces are the little posts that's going to go around the top of the roof garden, around the entire roof of the building. They're all spaced round, and then these are all glued on top to go all the way around. But because the house isn't rectangular, there's lots of shapes. I mean, that bit there is slightly angled, that bit's very angled, and the whole thing, none of it is whole straight lines anywhere. There's a curved bit there, so that all comes together like a jigsaw to fit around the roof garden. And then when I've put that on, I'm going to draw a floor plan of an aerial view of the roof garden, and where the beach house sits or is going to be placed on it. And then I will draw that out on paper and in my mind, draw out a design that I want for the roof garden. I've got 2 or 3 ideas in my head. Last night was a long night, which was quite good because I laid awake definitely half the night decorating the roof garden. It was great fun. Loved it. I'm actually waiting for the gay guys that own that own the property to visit again, to maybe give me ideas of what they'd like for the roof garden. What I do know is that they want lots of greenery, lots of planting, whether it's greenery or flowers, shrubs or trees. I'm not sure yet. It also depends on what my capabilities are, because I'll be going into a new way of making things. So that's all to come, which I can't wait. It's going to be a fantastic journey. Yes, anyway, so I thought I'd tell you a little story of my days when I was hairdressing. So this is many years ago, when I was self-employed and had my own little business doing hairdressing. And eventually I started working on my own, I made more money then, which was the right thing to do. And I would go around people's houses and go around to private clients and do their hair. And on this one occasion, I was going to this lady's house that I'd been going to for quite a long time. And when I got there, she was having her hair permed, so I was using all the little perm rollers that take ages to put in, and then the perm solution goes on, and you have to neutralise them and blah blah blah. So it's a few hours work that I was there to do her hair. Um, while I was doing her hair, she was quite casually, because I knew her very well, she was quite casually telling me all about her divorce that's going through. And that she had split up from her husband a while ago, but she hadn't mentioned to me. It's none of my business. But it was just something she decided to talk about, which is, a lot of you will know what I mean when you go to a hairdresser's. You end up telling them your life stories for some reason. I think, especially in my job when I did it, and the way I was with my customers, and extremely friendly and helpful. They would tell me all sorts of things, and some things some people told me, and made me promise not to tell anyone, which I still have certain stories about people that I will obviously be taking to my grave. But anyway, it's a funny position to be put in. But I was doing this lady's hair, and we just about finished putting the perm rollers in, and I was putting the solution on her hair. So then it only had, I don't know, can't remember now, it was maybe about 10 minutes or something the solution would be on, and then you would have to unroll one of the little perm rollers, pull it out a little bit, and then push the hair backwards and forwards to see how the S shape was forming, and then you knew, you could tell how loose or tight the perm was going to be that you wanted, and you would create, just make it to suit that person. So I'd got all her rollers in, and I knew about this husband who I'd never actually seen before, and all of a sudden a car pulled up, and there was a bang at the door, and it was this lady's husband, well, ex-husband now. And this is where the story gets a little bit unusual. In the real world, she would have maybe gone to the door and asked him to go away or whatever. But in this world that I was in at that time, she went into sheer panic, decided to let me know that if she was caught with any other men in her house, her ex-husband would kill them. And I was, I don't know, about 20 at the time. She was quite a bit older than me, maybe around, well, about 40, I suppose she would have been. And her husband apparently was quite a bruiser of a gentleman. So yes, so she then went on to tell me. I can't actually repeat any words that she said, or some of the words she said, because she was in a bit of a panic. But she let me know in a certain way that if her husband sees me, he will break windows and doors to get in and kill me. And in my head I was thinking, well, surely this man will see that I'm the hairdresser, then she's got a head full of perm rollers, and that's probably a good reason for me to be there. But but she didn't see this. And all of a sudden, after he finished banging at the front door, we were sitting in the kitchen, so he couldn't see through to the kitchen from the letterbox at the front door. Then he stopped banging at the front door, and I remember this bit distinctly. As I was about to look at her hair, I'm standing behind her, all of a sudden she jumped up from the seat quick, and she said, he's coming round the back, and he'll see us in the window. And she leapt up and turned round and pushed me in between a full-length cupboard, a ceiling-length cupboard, and her double height refrigerator, and there was a gap in it in between the two, a gap I think quite a lot thinner than I am, or was at the time, and she rammed me into this gap in between the fridge and the cupboard, and then she jumped in with me. So that's I can still see this lady now and me in between her fridge and her cupboard in the kitchen, with her husband banging through on the kitchen window. And he was actually shouting obscenities, because I think he realised that she was probably in, or knew that she didn't go out, or maybe her car was there. I don't really know. At that time, I couldn't really think straight. So yes, so we're both squashed in this in between this fridge and the cupboard. And the funny thing was, she's whispering away, saying, "Don't say a word, don't say this, don't do that. He'll go away soon, he'll go away soon. If he knows we're in here, he'll smash the window and he'll be in and he'll kill you," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm standing squashed in against the wall and the cupboards with her in front of me, so there's no way out into the room. And I'm bringing my arms up tightly. I could hardly move, and I'm bringing my arms up tightly. Someone said to her, "We've really got to check to see if your perm's curly enough." So I'm undoing her roller on her head and checking the perm to see if it's ready to neutralise. And it was. And I said to her, "If we don't get your hair rinsed now, so and so, it's going to go rather frizzy." And she says, "We can't go out." And we had to wait, I suppose, another couple of minutes before she heard the car. She could hear the gravel as he on under his feet as he walked back round to the front of the house, and then the car door banged, and then he stormed off down the road. So we heard him very well leaving the house, which was quite handy. If he'd gone away quietly, we might not have known if he'd left, but he was driving like a maniac. So in that case, it was very, very helpful. So as soon as the car had gone, I then pushed her out into the kitchen and grabbed her quick, and I had the hose, the hairdressing hose attached to her sink. And I slammed the water on quick, and I said, "Get your head down there, you're going to end up like Ronald McDonald." So actually, at the end of it all, her hair didn't really go over in a bad way, and her hair was actually very nice at the end of it. So she was very, very pleased as usual, and she gave me an extra tip. I think it was an extra £5 she gave me, which, when I was 20 years old, was nearer to 10. Now. So yes, so that was my little experience, or my, let's say, my close brush with death, or near to death. But even afterwards, and all the years now, I'm 64 next month, and I still look back on that and think, why would she have ever thought that I was any threat to her husband, or that her ex-husband, the hairdresser, doing her hair? She just wasn't thinking, was she? But I have told that story. Told that story for many, many years, and because I can still picture the woman, the kitchen, everything. I can't picture her husband, gladly, because I never saw him. Oh dear. But anyway, that was my that was a sort of exciting part of my day's job. Now, okay, I've got some more windows to do. I want to do this one both sides again. That one's okay. I don't think, have I got any more white ones to do here? I can give that one more coat, and then I want to paint those bits black, so I can do this one just a little bit more, and then put the black, let that dry, and then I'll do some black on some of these parts. So yes. Okay, so I've been doing lots of black and white painting, touching bits up, painting bits that hadn't been painted yet. When I actually started and sat down with it, I didn't realise there were so many doors and well, not doors but windows to paint and put in. So there's quite a few with glass in now, there's quite a few without glass in at the moment. So that's still ongoing. It's going to take some time just to sit and do that. As you can see, all the windows are out here at the moment, just because they're lying on the workbench. But while I'm fed up with painting those, it's relaxing, and it's as you can see, it's a lovely sunny day. I'll take you out and show you the red hot pokers. Now we've got the ferns have been lovely this year. We've got 2 big ferns growing there, they're more in the garden. But this has been the best year these have been. I can't remember the botanical name of these. Is it Nymphophia or I don't know. Maybe that's not even a plant term. I've no idea what I even said then. But in the UK here we call them red hot pokers because they look like pokers for a fire and they're red hot at the end. I think that's quite a normal name to call them. But there's 6 or 7. I think there's 7. There's another one right down at the bottom there, bud coming out. So there's about 7 heads there coming. This one was the first one and the biggest one, and as you can see it's all died back with just a bit on the top, but these ones are just out in the last few days and the sun on them is gorgeous, I have to say. They are very red hot looking. And if we come round into what we call the secret garden, basically where we keep the washing line, because it's down at the bottom of the garden. The workshop hides it from the house so no one can see it, and we've got fences all round us at the bottom here. But there's another red hot poker growing here, and it's just beautiful. These are that you can get. This is whatever the botanical name is, and then it ends in Gigantea, I think, because these are the big ones, and they can grow up to 7 foot tall, I think. We also have the miniature version in one of the planters in the garden, and it's about 1 foot high with tiny little flowers, but it looks identical to that, but much smaller. In fact, it's a 1/12 scale, the miniature one. Anyway, let's get. Oh, and also this big. This is actually a grass, which looks like sort of like a bamboo, but it's a grass. And this year again, I don't know why, but this has been the best this plant has ever been. We chopped it right down. John Boy chopped it right down to the base just weeks ago, and it's just stunning. And that, look, bend back and show you. That must be, I think, 12-13 feet high at the top there. But this is absolutely the best it's been. And it hides our wood shed around the back there, then our small garden shed. Anyway, let's get back to the workshop. Okay, now what I'm going to have to do is I'll have to look down at the moment to watch where I'm stepping, because I'm coming up on a 2-step ladder here. So as the table won't go long enough for me to work on the roof. So it's actually above me, which is, I'm 6 foot, and this is higher than me when I stand on the floor. But what I want to do is plan how I want the roof garden or the flooring area. This is where the beach house goes on the top, and that's the stairwell. I don't know if you can see it in this video properly, but that's the stairwell coming up into the beach house, or the sun lounge, I think it's called. Yes, a better word for it. So I want to plan the floor, the footprint around here, and where the posts are going, where I want planters to go. So I've just got some draft paper that I buy on a great big roll, so it's very wide, I think it's over 1 metre wide and several feet long. And I've just torn off a sheet, and then I've just laid it on here and then just creased it with my fingers all around, just quickly. It takes a couple of minutes just to go all around it, and then I'm going to, and I've pushed my finger in there so I can get the where the stairwell is, so I can cut that out, and then I can place the sun lounge on top of there where I want it to go, and then I can draw by the sun lounges as well. I'll do that down at a safer level than standing on a step ladder, and then all I do is just take this off there, and as you can see it's very creased on the lines there. I can just cut that out. I won't draw directly onto here, because once you've done it then you've got lots of rubbing out where you change your mind over and over, but I'll just get into my sketchbook and I'll draw the rough shape of it, and I'll just draw out some designs where the doors are, where I want paths to go, where I want planters, low walls or whatever, and then when I've decided on that, I'll upscale it onto this floor plan. Okay, so now I've done the full size shape of the roof. As you saw, I just put the paper on top, press my fingers all round and then cut it out. So that's in the house at the moment, in the kitchen. I've also laid the sun lounge on the piece of paper and drawn around it. So on that sheet of paper I can see the footprint of where the sun lounge is going to be. Then after that, I'll leave that as a plain piece of paper. I won't do anything to it. In the meantime, I'll bring this over and I'll put this here for you. In the meantime, I've got just some A4 sheets of paper, and I've drawn more or less the shape of the outside of the roof, basically this shape here. I'm not measuring anything, I'm not scaling it down to exact size. That's a complete waste of time for what I'm doing here. All I need to do is draw out roughly more or less the shape of it, and more or less in proportion, so I know roughly this piece here comes slightly not quite halfway down here, so there's a bigger space here. As long as it's more or less in place, nothing is measured, nothing is in scale. If you want to do it like that, then by all means that's what you do. But I'm happy, it's quicker me just doing this. So I'm just showing you the way I would do this. So I've drawn in there, I haven't even measured the actual size of it yet. I've just drawn the fact that there's a fixed window there. I've drawn that the door is there coming out of it. There are doors there, but I'm not concerned about that part of it. I'm going to leave those closed anyway. I'll put a door handle on and just leave it. And then doing that, people can see in their head when they're looking at the building, they can see that you could come out here, because this bit here will be more or less closed off, so you won't be able to walk round here, which is fine because it makes it in two sections. So I've got this door coming out into this section and a door coming out here where they can walk around the front and the side of the building. So that's it drawn out. Now all I'm doing is basically concentrating on the big part, or the bigger picture, as it were. And I'm starting to, in my head, well, some of this, I've got more to put in now, but some of it was during the night last night, when thankfully the couple that owned the house did pay a small visit, and did chat to me about where they wanted certain things. Again, they might come back to me and change their mind, but by the morning I was quite satisfied with what I'm going to start off with. So I'm going to put a planter in there. This house is going to sit against our lounge wall, and it's going to sit right up as close as we can get it to the wall. So there won't be any space to walk around behind it, which you don't need to, because it's an English style doll's house, so there's no open back to it. So we can decorate all the back of the rooms. So I'm going to put a planter there, so it just builds it up a bit. You know, it'll be sort of, I don't know, maybe 2 inches high, so it'll be 2 foot in real life. I don't know yet, but there'll be a planter there to give us some, to bring the house in when you look at the house from the front, because you'll be looking from this angle. So if I've got something here and some greenery, then it sort of finishes it off, instead of looking straight over the garden and against a wall of a real house. It just leaves it a bit open. So I'm going to start thinking about bringing that up in here. Here I'll have an earthed area, so it'll be all dug out and earth. I'm going to have a tree here, but it'll be a big tree. Around the base of it, I'm going to have low bushes or planting of some sort, maybe flowers and things, same as in the planter here. And then this planter I don't want going right along here, because when they come out onto the roof of the house, they want to be able to walk around, but they want to be able to walk to this part of the railing and look out down onto their other level, the veranda bit, and out into the countryside. They don't want to be stopped by anything. So that's an area they can walk out to and just stand with a glass of wine perhaps, or a gin and tonic, or anything they fancy. And they can look out. This will be an L-shaped planter, but again, because we'll be looking at it straight from this angle, I don't want that planter to go right along, because again, it will be a couple of inches or so high, and I want to be able to look into their garden myself and when other people view the house. So I'll have planting there, but no obstructions there. Plus the people living in it can walk out and just lean on the railing here and look out the front of the house. So that's it. I'm now thinking about whether I'm going to put any kind of water feature in there. John Boy was sitting with me. We were sitting in the garden, actually. It's lovely and sunny while I'm drawing this. And John Boy looked and he said, where the windows are, how about making some kind of canopy coming out a bit? Some kind of canopy, just to make a sun shade there for the inside the summer house, or the sun lounge. So I might put a canopy there. That could be good. Also, I need to decide whether I want to put any grass or even fake grass area here, or if I want to pave this with nice maybe rectangular paving blocks of plain marble, so it's just a nice modern look there. I might do that, and then there's plenty of area to put sun chairs, loungers, side tables, again with maybe drinks on, or a cocktail here and there. But that's what I'll do. Around here I might also continue the paving round here, but I've left a gap and moved the sun house in. I don't want it too close to the railing, because they would want to come out here and not only walk around here to right round to admire the view out this this area of the house, but they'd also want to walk around here to clean the windows, because there's windows here and a big window here, so you'd want to come around here for cleaning the windows. So anyway, so I just thought I'd show you how I'm building this up, and also what I should have done, but I couldn't be bothered, was to go upstairs and photocopy this drawing before I put these in, and then I could have done different versions of it. But if I'm really not happy with it, I can probably just rub these out. It would look messier, but who knows, who cares. But if I really want to change it drastically, I can always rub it out and redraw something on it. But the reason I'm not doing this in proper scale and exact measurements is because when I come to building the planters, I will look at the real roof itself, or the real plan that I've got, the actual size of it, and place bits of wood down and see how far, what spaces I've got here than here, and I will just build it accordingly. I mean, any planter you can make exactly any size you want, so why have it to scale when you can just see it on the actual rooftop itself, or on a piece of paper the same size. I then will get bits of wood or whatever and make planters to fit in that area, and the same here and whatever else. So let's carry on and do a bit more what I'm going to put in there, or what suggestions we'll think of between John Boy and me, and carry on with the plan. Okay, so after much deliberation, here's a plan of the actual size of the roof terrace, and here I've drawn the planters out and the where the tree is going, exactly where I would want them. So I'll just build the planters to that shape. But as you can see on the flooring here, John Boy came up with the idea of why don't you have a sunburst, Art Deco sunburst design, so anyone flying over in helicopters or whatever would see this on the roof above, which I think would look quite fab. So I agreed, and so I've got the sunburst coming out from where the door is coming out onto the roof garden. So I've just done it from the edge of the building there. I've drawn a circle here, and I've evenly spaced these sunbursts out, and I'm going to do them in black and white, black and white, black and white, black and white, and then in here it will be white, black, white, black, white, black. So it will be alternative there. I think that's going to look absolutely super when it's done. So I'll show you what how I'm going to achieve this. So I've got a thick craft card here. It's quite a thick one, a couple of millimeters thick. It's a nice heavy duty one, and I'm just going to place this on the card, and then sort of draw through it sort of more heavily, using a metal ruler than a pencil, and I'll just score out the marks, draw the whole thing out, and then take that away and then go over it again in pencil, so I've got it exactly on here how I want it, and then I'll show you what I'm doing next. Okay, so before I cut this out, I turn the whole thing over, so this is now the underneath of the pattern, so this planter would be over in this corner when it's run the right way. And what I did was the point there, I just got some cotton or thread on a pencil, wrapped around a pencil, and I measured 2-inch intervals all the way up, well, this one here, so I could get all the 2-inch intervals, just marked it, and then put the point in there with the cotton, brought the pencil up to here and drew a circle, unrolled the pencil to the 2-inch mark and did there, and so on. So I've got all these now marked out on the back. If I do that on the front, when I paint these pieces, it will cover up the lines. So this is all on the back now. So then I'm going to turn this over, paint the pieces in the order that I want, black or, it doesn't really matter, but I'll choose which one I want where, black and white. When they're dry, and then I'll Mod Podge them, I can turn them over, and then I can score these lines on the back to make them into actual tiles. Okay, so there's the 3 white pieces, 3 black pieces, all painted. I've given them 2 coats to make them nice and thick and strong, and then I've given them a good coating of Mod Podge, just the matte one. It's called matte, but you still have a slight sheen on it. It's just not as shiny as the gloss one, which is the effect that I want. So we'll just let those dry. Then when I turn them over, I'll have the exact lines, the arches, every 2 inches where I'd mark them on the back, so I can turn them over, cut them from the back, and then turn them back again. And of course I'll have to remember, I'll keep them all in separate groups, so I'll remember which shape is which, so I can put it back together just like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so so you can follow the progress of how it's coming together. I do actually have to go up on ladders to work on the actual roof of the house. Bits I can do down here, but when I'm adding it to the house I have to climb up. So I shall pause the video because I'm a bit dodgy climbing up and down stairs, and we'll see what's happening on the roof. Okay, so I've glued all the, cut the bits, put them all back together like a jigsaw, and then as you can see I glued them down, left them overnight. This is now another day, and I've just come out and covered the whole thing in Mod Podge again. No reason except to just give it a really, double coat of Mod Podge as well, just to seal it. So I'll wait for that to dry off and disappear, so it's touch dry and it's not sticky. And then I shall put some grout in over the whole thing, clean it off, and we'll just have the grout lines. I'm going to use a white grout, so on the black tiles you'll see white lines, which I think will actually look quite good when it's done. The effect will stand out a bit more. I was considering getting a felt pen or something and colouring the black grout in between so it looked more one solid colour, but I actually think the white grout might look just an added touch. So anyway, we shall see, because we'll do it and then decide whether to do a bit more or leave it as it is. And as you can see, those are the other areas where I'm putting the planters and the square garden bit in the middle for the tree, and here. And the summer house obviously comes down onto this. So then around the front here, around the front of the building, I'm just going to put this in place, draw a pencil line around where it comes, and I'm going to cut out a template, and we're going to have false grass around this side. So there's some greenery around this side of the roof, because there'll be greenery on this side. So I just thought I'd add a bit of greenery on this side via the floor. Okay, there we are. So I've put the fake grass around the front there. I think that looks really pretty at the moment. And here's the flooring with the grouting in, and another layer of Mod Podge again on top. So they're really sealed. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to measure these pieces here and this piece here, and then just cut bits of wood, and I'm going to design and build a couple of planters. So I will do that next. Right, now, so I've measured all the different sides of the planters and cut all the bits of wood accordingly. And now I'm just gluing a support on one of the back panels here. I'll just do that quick and then show you what I've done so far. Okay. It's just I've just cut, that's a bit of coving or cornicing there that I've just cut lengths of. They're nice L-shaped or right angle pieces, so once they're dry then you can glue the other pieces together. It just gives it all extra support instead of trying to glue thin bits of wood and get them all square. There's not as much support, but with doing that it just adds to the support. So if I show you, this is all in pieces at the moment. If I show you, that's one of the sides that's going to show. That's I think the front of one of the planters. And I've actually got the planter at the back. That's already finished. So I can hold that up to you. I like how the design just peeks over the top edge of the planter there. And what I'll do is I'll put a piece of wood or something, some kind of support in there, so I don't have the whole depth of the planter to fill. So the underneath of it will just be empty. But I need something in there so I can put earth or dirt or whatever and plant shrubs or planting of some sort. So that will all be covered in planting at the end. But as I said, I'll put something in there. I've cut the supports down a little bit, as you can see in all the corners. So I might just balance a piece of wood on there, and then I can fill that with fake earth, planting and what have you. But that's going to go along the back of the house, and then this one will be at the front, the L shape of it. So I'll carry on putting all this together, and then I'll show you it put together, and I'll paint them as well, or however I'm going to finish them off. Okay, planters built. There's the L-shaped one, or the angled one. Now I'll just finish letting that dry off. Well, I've glued it together, and then let's get it painted and add the finishing touches. I'm really looking forward to seeing these. I know what I've got in my head, but we'll see if it turns out on paper, in real life, I mean. Okay, so I'm balancing on a ladder and leaning, which I shouldn't be doing, but there we are. The railings are in. The blue colour I've chosen, I've made it, and the planters, here we go. I've made this colour by looking up Art Deco colours on images, and found that they use this shade of blue quite a lot. So I mixed it with 3 different colours to get the colour I wanted. But here we have the planter over in the corner where the tree and shrubs will go. The back planter and the side planter here. And all the detail I've picked out in silver. I've used chrome. I've used a liquid chrome. There we are. And the plants I've made at the back, I've just stuck little strips of wood round there, just to add detail, and I've done those in the liquid chrome as well. So I think it looks quite good. It just needs plants and some furniture, and it will look quite good. The summer house here, or the sun lounge, this just lifts up. The whole thing lifts up. There's no open doors that you can get in to dress it, so I just lift that up. I know the floor space that I've got. I'll pick some flooring to put down there, and then decide whether to leave the back wall white or wallpaper it or do something with it. I'm not sure yet. We'll just wait and see. But that's all I have to do to finish off the room inside there, and then it's ready for dressing. Hopefully you like what I've done. I would like to hear comments, obviously, but there we are. Okay, my lovelies, so that's it. It's a wrap for this video. I won't do any more on this video, otherwise the video just gets far too long. It's blowing a gale outside at the moment. Everything is, even the summer house door is blowing about, so I'll have to close it, I think, to carry on working in here. But cheers everybody. Oh, lovely. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video so far, and what I've done to the roof. Comments please, I would love to know. Some people don't like Art Deco, some people love Art Deco, but either way I'd love to hear what what your thoughts are on what I'm doing so far. Hopefully I will have another video up soon. I don't know what it will be, but I just play each day by ear. But rest assured I will be beginning, well, I have actually started another video on John Boy's house, where he started putting it together. I think there's bits of it there lying up against the castle, so I will be videoing that as well. So hopefully I'll have a video on for that too shortly. So thank you very, very much, folks. Lovely to speak to you. As always, please keep safe and speak to you again soon. Take care now. Bye all.